Happy Monday and welcome to the 15th episode of the Sneak Preview, where we follow the current movie release calendar. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Austin Johnson.
Today's topic is the recent Netflix release, Thunder Force, a film that has been getting eviscerated by critics and fans alike. Let's see if those reviews are accurate or not. Also, we'll talk briefly on the theater release Voyagers, which has been going through pretty much the same thing. It's going to be a lukewarm sci-fi episode. But first, let's see what happened last week in film. Last week in film. First up, trailer time. The first trailer for Mainstream came out. Stars Andrew Garfield as a douchey YouTube personality who goes off the deep end. The film is written and directed by Gia Coppola, granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola, set for release May 7th. Thoughts?
This looks like it's going to be straight garbage, but I'll probably watch it. Yeah, looks totally up its own ass in like the worst way. I love Andrew Garfield. I love kind of the strange career he's put together the past decade. And this looks like a role that's just kind of, just him kind of going for it. And that's really the reason I want to see it. Then you got Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Oh.
She's an interesting performer. I just, the trailer is, you can already tell what you're in for, right? I think it's going to be a total miss.
I think this looks great for 2012. But
yeah.
Logan Paul, the movie, doesn't exactly scream masterpiece these days. I don't know. I think this is going to flop hard. But we'll see.
It's one of those flops that I already know that I'm gonna watch it, gonna see it. Just has this thing that kind of draws me in. Like, oh, it looks like shit that I'll kind of enjoy. I love that you brought up 2012, and what comes to mind is like Spring Breakers from 2012 or 2013, James Franco shit, shit like that.
This looks like it was tailor-made for Franco in the 2010s.
Yeah.
But he's too old to be that kind of guy now. And also, you can't, you got to put value on that Coppola name. I mean, that's like the Hollywood dynasty now. And that name, is going to attract some people. I didn't give a shit until I saw that. And I'm like, okay, I might want to see this. I don't know if that, I don't know what her talents are, but maybe that family's got it. Maybe it's hereditary. I don't know. They all seem to be good at something.
I've seen her film Palo Alto from like 7 or 8 years ago. That was all right, I guess. It was okay. I don't know. It's kind of you're either in or you're out on like her kind of feel. It seems like it kind of has like a glossy, like Instagram filter type feel to it that's just kind of stuck. And I don't know. It's just not totally for me, but at the same time, I'm an idiot and I watch things that I probably won't enjoy.
Just for this podcast, I have watched a lot of films that I did not just because I was like, it came out, so I should probably say something. Next up, the trailer for Those Who Wish Me Dead. Stars Angelina Jolie, John Bernthal, Aidan Gillen, and Nicholas Hoult. Follows a young murder witness who is hunted by two assassins during a massive forest fire. Directed by Taylor Sheridan, set for release May 14th. This looks interesting. Taylor Sheridan is a very talented screenwriter. I've often said I'm not the biggest Jolie fan, but I love John Bernthal and Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult. I think are pretty good. So I'm in. I'll see this.
Yeah, I definitely want to check this one out. I think Angelina Jolie has made a lot of like poor, decisions with roles throughout her whole career, but she has some awesome ones. And this looks like one that's going to pay off. That's going to be really a really cool performance from her. And Sheridan is mostly why you trust it, right? Sicario, Wind River, Hell or High Water. Those are some cool stories, and he's kind of one of the minds behind Yellowstone. So you just you feel like you're in good hands, and with the other members of the cast that you mentioned, I'm totally on board for this.
I'm intrigued by the idea of assassins hunting a child in a forest fire. That's an interesting concept. I like it. It's an HBO Max release, so we don't have to go anywhere. So why not?
Yeah, it's one where you can just kind of go get some food, come on home, chill out, and watch a good old. I think it's Warner Brothers, right? Yeah, exactly. HBO Max, baby.
Yeah, here's hoping. And finally, the second trailer for Cruella stars Emma Stone as a young Cruella DeVille and Emma Thompson as her sort of evil mentor, set for release on May 28th in theaters and on Disney Plus via Premier Access. I gotta say, the second trailer has warmed me to the film because I think it's a much better angle. I think the first trailer took a weird angle to it, but this one is like, oh, okay, she's crazy because her boss is crazy and she hates her boss and she wants to kill her boss. I can relate to that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm super in for this. I think this looks awesome, and I think Craig Gillespie is kind of cool with that. I, Tonya, I really like that one. The 2011 Fright Night, for what it's worth, right? That's a pretty cool movie. And then I love Lars and the Real Girl. So the really interesting filmography from him, and to have this kind of a film through Disney is dope. Obviously, the guy's getting paid, and I'm excited to see his style, in kind of this territory with this huge budget. And Emma Stone looks like she's just totally going for it. I can't wait.
Also got a PG-13 rating, which is incredible for Disney. So that's intriguing.
Yeah. That's one of the key things, right? If you catch that, a lot of those Disney PG-13 movies tend to be, just slightly more entertaining.
Yeah. And I love that you can kind of see the contrast between both trailers and just how they're both telling wildly different stories. And this trailer feels like the Cruella DeVille movie that makes sense. So yeah, I'm finally on board.
Yep. I'm super excited. Yeah. Looks awesome.
So that's it for trailers. Let's talk about what else happened. Michael B. Jordan has confirmed that Sylvester Stallone will not be appearing in his upcoming film Creed 3. Rocky Balboa is officially retired. And this isn't exactly news. This, Stallone released an Instagram video a long time ago saying that he was done playing Rocky. But now that, Michael B. Jordan is going to be directing Creed 3, we got official confirmation that Rocky is not a part of this film. I love Rocky, so that's disappointing, but I get it. Rocky's story ended pretty good in Creed 2, and I love this franchise, so I'm excited. Yeah,
I think 8 films is enough, right? Hats off to Stallone for doing this incredible run within a franchise. That's going for 9 films now, and these, both Creed 1 and 2 are just spectacular. So I don't see anything less from the third.
No, I'm wondering what he's going to do. I know there's a lot of fans are like, fight Mr. T's kid and shit like that, but that's not going to happen.
Nah.
Paul Dano has been cast as Steven Spielberg's father in his upcoming biographical drama. He joins Michelle Williams and Seth Rogen. This is shaping up to be a very interesting film. I'm following the development of this and like the cast he's bringing together, the idea of telling his own story. Like, I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, those names are so fascinating. Putting them together: Steven Spielberg, Paul Dano, Rogen, and Michelle Williams. Well, yeah, sign us up, right? And Paul Dano is, I think, made so many cool decisions throughout his career and kind of outdone himself as far as just working with all these amazing people, and then to be able to do this, pretty special. And he just had just a couple of years ago, Wildlife, his directorial debut, Paul Dano. So it's pretty cool, right? Being able to learn from these guys and also perfecting your own craft. Pretty sweet.
Well, and he's got his indie fans, he's got his his loyalists, but we're about to see him play the Riddler, and that's going to propel him to superstardom. So I'm psyched.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta love that, right? Yeah, because when we were 11 and 12, he's in Little Miss Sunshine and There Will Be Blood. Okay, yeah, this guy knows how to pick movies, and as time goes on, he just kind of keeps crushing it and roles like in Prisoners, and I love the guy so much, and that was really exciting news.
Can't believe there's only 2 years between Sunshine and There Will Be Blood. He looks so much older.
It's just 1 year. It's just 06 and 07.
Fuck, what happened?
Yeah. Paul Thomas Anderson got a hold of him. Yeah.
He goes from like looking 14 to looking 35 in a year. How did that happen? Wow.
Nietzsche. You don't speak because of Nietzsche.
Oh God.
Every night with the goddamn fucking chicken.
That's one of my favorite episodes we did of Oscar Sunday. That was Little Miss Sunshine. Was a blast.
Yeah, it's just such a goddamn awesome movie, so special. So many cool people in it. Yeah.
Can I help you with anything? Oh yeah, is there a funeral home around here?
You gotta love when Dean Norris is, God, I love these. Oh, that's different. Great movie.
Fantastic.
Awesome. 15-year anniversary this year. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, I know what I'm watching. Paramount has delayed a number of their films currently in production. No surprise there. Big stuff is still, a little hesitant to come out. Godzilla versus Kong was profitable, but not, normal times profitable. So a lot of studios still have cold feet. I get it. Top Gun Maverick has been pushed to November 19th, and Mission Impossible 7 has been pushed to May 2022. So we won't be getting any Tom Cruise for quite a while. I mean, who's crying?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not 1999 Tom Cruise, then I don't I don't care too much.
I wish we could get more dramatic Cruise over the action star Cruise has been masquerading as for the past 20 years. It's the same movie. He's been playing Ethan Hunt for God knows how long. No matter what you call the movie, it's Ethan Hunt every time.
For 25 years. Like, give it up, dog. At least the people who play Bond give it up at some point and let somebody else do it. Like, Jesus.
Just like who is clamoring for Top Gun 2? Who is this for? Nobody cares. I mean, that and like the whole Jack Reacher thing, and just like I don't know what the hell I don't get it. I will never understand that guy.
Yeah. You're right. Throughout the past 20 years, there's very few worthwhile roles, But then, you look in the 80s and 90s, and it's just stacked with awesome stuff.
The one time he climbed out of the box was Tropic Thunder, and that was
okay. Yeah, that's incredible stuff. I think Collateral is pretty cool. I think Edge of Tomorrow's got some pretty decent stuff in it. Yeah, it's decent. It's better than all of just straight action. I don't know. I really wish he would turn back the clock more often and do some stuff like he's doing as Frank T.J. Mackey.
Yeah. Granted, I have not yet seen Collateral, but I fucking hated Edge of Tomorrow. I didn't enjoy that at all.
I thought it was pretty cool. Collateral is pretty dope. Yeah, I think you would dig that one.
Well, I'm because of we just did talk about The Insider on Oscar Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a Michael Mann, surge right now, so might as well.
Dude, yeah. Last of the Mohicans, might as well throw it on. Miami Vice, just Michael Mann it up. Yeah.
Bit of sad news. Actor James Hampton has died at 84 years old from Parkinson's complications. Hampton was known for his role as the dad in Teen Wolf, as well as his roles in Sling Blade, The Longest Yard, and The China Syndrome. He will be missed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate stuff. This is part of the show that we feel like we just got to do. These people are highly influential, whether it be on a smaller, huge scale. It's worth bringing up. China Syndrome. He's fantastic in. I just watched that movie not too long ago. 1979, really cool. Jane Fonda and Michael Douglas. Really cool movie, and it's interesting how, those things matter, right? When you're talking about these people, that's what we have to hold on to. And those are the little things you do, you latch onto. You're like, oh, I just saw that, or oh, I like that, or Longest Yard, fuck yeah. And that's the stuff you can remember them by. That's the only way we can really go about it here. But it's not something to just kind of gloss over.
Yeah, a big part of all of our podcasts is legacy, and we like to point out when a piece of that legacy is gone. It's important, and I just like to kind of pay my respects.
Always.
Mm-hmm. This was really cool. Jensen Ackles has been cast as the voice of Batman in the upcoming DC animated film Batman: The Long Halloween. It'll be split into 2 parts. The trailer for part 1 is out now, and this looks fantastic. So in the TV show Supernatural, which just ended, there's a funny episode where the character of Dean Winchester, who Jensen Ackles plays, throws a remote at someone's heads and then proclaims, "I'm Batman," because of a joke. But now he really is Batman, so Supernatural fans are freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. Oh, the tides have turned.
And I love The Long Halloween. That is such a cool graphic novel, such a really neat, gritty Batman story, and they're finally doing an animated movie out of it, and it just looks awesome. So cool. So excited.
Oh, well, yeah. And you and I know firsthand, we've just kind of like shared multiple experiences through the Filmgazm podcast of animated, DC animated, specifically Batman stuff. It's just shit will just blow your mind, and anytime you see a story that you're kind of connected with, of course, yeah, I'm on board with you. I definitely want to check this out.
Yeah. I've heard that The Long Halloween is one of the graphic novels that Matt Reeves is heavily influenced by for his Batman movie. So just for like tone. So that's exciting.
Fuck yeah. That's really cool.
Netflix has acquired the rights to stream Sony's new releases after their theatrical runs. This includes Morbius, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Uncharted, and whatever else Sony is producing in the next few years. And this was kind of a shock because Sony is the only major studio to not have had either their own service or a deal with a streaming service. So this deal ended that, and now Netflix has Sony stuff.
Extremely disappointing to me that I don't think it's the right choice of streaming service, right? So that kind of blows. But this kind of news is stuff that just kind of still shocks me when I'm reading it. These things that are just streamlining, going straight to these services, and it's just the norm now. Just the kind of business that's happening in the world that we love. But yeah, not the place I want it to go.
Well, we as the consuming public can only do so much.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
Yeah. And this is us doing so much.
Lifting a finger.
Yep. Our 2 cents. So finally, Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been cast in the upcoming 5th Indiana Jones film, joining Harrison Ford in his final run as Indy. James Mangold is taking over directing duties from Steven Spielberg, and perhaps most excitingly, John Williams is returning to score the film.
Yeah. This works for me. This works for me. James Mangold. I'm totally in love with that guy's mind. Not all of his work am I in love with, but his mind, the way he kind of thinks about movies. And I think this is going to be very, very, very important to him.
Well, Spielberg clearly picked him because of Logan.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, this is old man Indy. That's what this is. It's going to be Indiana Jones' last ride, probably in like the late 50s, early 60s or something, passing the torch to whoever the hell. And I want to be excited about this, but Crystal Skull really left a bad taste in my mouth.
It's every other count. Fan. Doesn't count. This is the fourth one.
This is the fourth one.
We're allowed to do that. It's ours. The art's ours. Fuck that movie. Yeah, it's terrible.
If we can, protect and preserve and reclaim the art, we can also kick it to the fucking curb.
Yeah, just deny it.
Oh God.
It's like that Geico Dikembe Mutombo commercial when he just fucking keeps blocking everything. Yeah. No. That's Crystal Skull. Just get that shit out of here.
I hope this doesn't suck. They've been trying to do this for like 10 years now. They're finally getting it off the ground. It'll
be interesting. It may not be like great or anything, but it'll be interesting for sure. It'll have that Mangold touch, and then having Phoebe involved is pretty kind of eye popping, because that's a very interesting decision from her.
Yeah,
with her career and where she's at. So I'm just kind of like, I like this kind of a risk.
Well, I wouldn't call it a risk. I mean, how do you say no to Indiana Jones?
No, it's a risk. It's not a risk financially. It's a risk legacy wise, because look at what Crystal Skull look at how we're talking about it. It made pretty good money.
That's a good point.
But and that might be the thing that really matters, right? To people, is the money. But when the conversation lives on, years later, when did Crystal Skull come out? 2008. 2008. I mean, 13 years on, it's still getting just shit on. So you don't want that to be you when you're a movie. And I know James Mangold does not want that to happen to him.
Yeah.
That's not what he intends on when he's making a film. He's usually pretty serious about each project.
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest surprise for me is Harrison Ford himself, that he is willing to do this. Like I just feel like all he wants to do is smoke pot and fly. That's all he gives a shit about anymore. So the fact that he's even involved, I don't know. Maybe he was really sold on the script, because I know with Han Solo, he was just like, fucking give me $50 million and kill me, and I'll be there. But with Indiana Jones, he really does care about that character. He really is connected to that. So I think this is personal for him.
Yeah, I agree. It's so funny knowing when you're watching Force Awakens and you just know this guy just got paid so much. He's like, please get me out of here. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on.
If I was JJ, I would have felt so nervous asking for a second take.
Yeah, no kidding. Harrison Ford's more interested in the donuts that you got on set.
Well, also, like, day one, like, a door slipped on the Falcon and broke his fucking leg. So, not exactly the best homecoming.
No. Jesus Christ.
God, yeah. I wish I could hate something as strongly as Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. I probably never will.
Oh my God.
Speaking of sci-fi, before we get into Thunder Force, let's talk a little bit about Voyagers.
Yes, let's. Colin Farrell, baby.
Yes. So, spoiler alert, I am going to go through this film beginning to end. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, do whatever the hell you want, man. I'm probably not ever gonna watch this.
Fair enough. I'm
not gonna say that. But the chances are slim.
Yeah. So this is a film written and directed by Neil Berger, who directed the first Divergent film and then produced Insurgent and Allegiant. So he enjoys dystopian future with horny teenagers, and that's very clear, because this film is basically like the lost fourth Divergent film.
I thought there were 4. Oh boy.
There were supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Funny story. They split the last one into 2, because that's what you do when you have a young adult franchise based on a novel series. You get to the last one and you split it in half, but no one wanted to come back for the second half, so it's never happened.
Oh my God! So it's just hanging.
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
find that hilarious.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine if they got to Deathly Hallows Part 1 and just, we're just not going to do Part 2? Well, no, you can't imagine it because it's actually a good story. And
Well, the thing
most of the movies are entertaining. So
the thing about Harry Potter is that the last book is so big and every crucial detail is so important that they needed to split it in half to fill the whole story out. They didn't need to do that for Hunger Games, or they didn't need to do that for Twilight. Like, they just did it because that's what happened. Like, they figured $1 billion grosser or $2 billion grossers. You know, what makes more sense? So
yeah.
But Divergent was never pulling that kind of money, was never pulling that kind of crowd. So that was risky and it failed. But Berger here decided to make his mark on Lord of the Flies by putting it in space. And turns out when you have a spaceship full of teenagers whose horniness and attitude is repressed chemically with a drug, and they stop taking that drug, shit's going to get wild. Because you have not taught these kids how to handle these emotions or what hormones are or what it feels like to fall in love. So they're going to go completely insane with these emotions. And I mean, I would say overly insane. It's a little much at times. This film should have been rated R. I think it would have been a lot stronger. I gave it a 7. My biggest surprise is that, and this is the last chance for spoilers, Colin Farrell is killed 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, you hate to hear that, right? No, I definitely don't want to watch it.
Yeah, he gets electrocuted by some asshole, and they just kind of look at his corpse and are like, "What do now?" And turns out, what do now is stop taking the blue, as they call it, and just fuck everything. Stop taking care of the ship. And what they're supposed to do is they're there to give birth to the next generation, who will then give birth to the next generation, and that generation will land on this planet. So their whole lot in life is to breed. They have no other purpose beyond maintain the ship and make more cadets. So once they come to terms with this, they're like, well, then we can do whatever the fuck we want because our lives are meaningless. And
legacy.
Yeah. Ty Sheridan is kind of the level-headed one who's like, you know, our lives are meaningless, yeah, but we still got to take care of this place or we're going to die. And Fionn Whitehead is the dick who's like, I'm crazy now and I'm going to kill everybody who doesn't believe me. And also there's an alien, but not really. And it's it's crazy. And it doesn't feel original at all. Everything's pretty predictable. A lot of plot points just kind of happen without any buildup. They're like, oh, this is happening now. Okay, I guess we're doing this. And Colin Farrell's decent, but also, you know, you can tell he's kind of phoning it in. And the ending was way too fucking sappy. It was like, are you kidding me? After all that, we're going to still get like a happy, beautiful ending? Like, fuck you. So, no, I don't like teenagers. I don't find them interesting. And every movie made about them, they act exactly the fucking same. There's no personality beyond I hate everything and I want to fuck everything. Like, there's more to it than that. I remember I was a teenager.
We should do that as an episode. Top 5 movies based around teenagers, and you got to figure out which ones you actually like, because I know you hate them.
Yeah, I had an epiphany this past weekend because I watched Voyagers and I also watched Amour for the first time, and I realized I am sick and tired of movies about teenagers acting like assholes and movies about old people that only focus on look how old they are, isn't this sad? Because there's more to like there's more to old people than just, you know, Parkinson's or dementia or a stroke or, you know, slow death. Like, I want a movie where, like, you know, a fantasy movie where, like, there's a prophecy to slay a dragon or something, and this like 86-year-old grandma gets the prophecy and goes on a quest. I would love something like that. Like, switch them up, you know, give me the movie of, like, you know, old people in space and like a teenager has a stroke. Like, I would watch those movies.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Definitely on the second one, because if you have like a movie about a young person going through something super traumatic, like in Sound of Metal, when he's losing his
Yeah.
hearing, super young person losing their hearing, they
Yeah.
quote unquote have their whole life ahead of them, sort of thing, and that's a super interesting movie, super interesting like plot line. I understand what you're saying. I like it more. I need to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I understand what you're saying when it's just kind of like it kind of makes old people, especially within the movie, just kind of one dimensional, and
Yeah.
that can be a bit frustrating over a 2 hour span.
Oh my God. It's just the whole movie is just watching this old guy struggle to take care of his old wife and just watching them both crumble into depression and just like individual loneliness. I was not entertained. Like, no. And it's just something I noticed about films that are made about elderly people. They only ever focus on how old they are. They don't really hone in on any other personality traits that they've had their entire life. And I wish that they would, explore that a little more in films like this. The Father had kind of a similar problem, but it was just smarter in how it handled it.
Yeah, what I remember liking it more is like, this sounds stupid, but the shots, the direction from Michael Haneke, just
I get that.
There's some pretty breathtaking stuff within it. But I totally hear you. Totally get what you're saying.
Well, anyway, Voyagers,
especially when you have firsthand, you have really cool grandparents like that.
That's probably it. I have like cool teenage cousins who aren't dicks and grandparents who aren't just, old people with, slowly deteriorating minds. So that might be why I have this problem. Like, I'm not seeing people I know in films.
Like, well, yeah, where's the representation of like positive people in these stages of life? Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally get that. Without it being fucking cheesy or just being in a comedy movie for laughs, like when they just put an old person in just because they're old. I don't like that either.
You know what? That's why Nobody kicked so much ass, because it used that and turned it on its head. Bob Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd are both considered over the hill, but they're kicking everybody's ass, and like their age is more of a help than a hindrance the whole time.
Yeah,
and I appreciated that. So I think that we need to have more positive depictions of people at the beginning and the end of their lives.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm. So you could probably skip Voyagers. Just watch Lord of the Flies while outside at night looking at the stars, and you'll get the exact same reaction.
I like Lord of the Flies. Okay, might do that one day.
It's like Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon. If you just sync shit up, you'll get the same deal with certain movies.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, so time for the main event, so to speak, Thunder Force. Written and directed by Ben Falcone as a vehicle for his wife, Melissa McCarthy. The pair have also done...
The vehicle for his wife. Yeah, that's what a lot of these movies have been.
I know.
for him.
Like, look, Tammy, The Boss, Life of the Party, all of them horribly panned. I've only seen Tammy of that bunch, and that was shit. I don't know what, like, they're both funny people, so I don't know what the hell's happening here.
I don't know either, man. It's confusing.
Like, everything Melissa McCarthy has done without her husband has been really good. Spy, Bridesmaids, The Heat, like, what is going on?
Can you ever forgive me? Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I really want to.
Yeah, it's pretty funny how that works out. The ones that he's done. Yeah. Good Lord. Tammy is really bad. I forgot what it was. And then I clicked on the poster and I was like, oh yeah, not good.
I remember I had to work The Boss at Draft House, and it sold out a few times. And then a couple of years later, I realized I also worked Life of the Party, but in my mind, I remembered them as the same movie.
Yeah. I thought, oh my God, okay. This one, Life of the Party. What's the difference? I'm looking at him right now. Okay. The boss, she looks a little bit different. She's got like short hair and is clearly, yeah. Wow, this is a bad rabbit hole.
It is a bad rabbit hole, and oh god. So let's talk a little bit about Melissa McCarthy here.
Yes,
She plays Lydia, a straight up loser who gets superpowers by accident. She's been nominated for 2 Oscars for Bridesmaids and Can You Ever Forgive Me, and is considered one of the most bankable comedy actors working today. So why does she keep getting cast in shit films?
Well, most of the shit ones are the ones that her husband's doing. So, well, I'm not going to blame it all on that. Have you seen Identity Thief or Identity? I can't. That one's really bad.
Identity Thief, and that's not Falcone's fault.
Yeah. I wasn't really into The Kitchen too much. I thought it was okay, I guess. Ghostbusters, yikes.
Boy. Yeah, that's a lot of people's fault.
Yeah. Central Intelligence, not for me.
That was funny.
Yeah, man. There's The Heat. I don't know. I mean, Bridesmaids is the one that just stands out so far ahead of all the others.
For me, it's Spy. I think Spy is
Spy. Yeah, Spy. Spy's pretty good. And then, Can You Ever Forgive Me? You would really like that. So yeah, it's not the greatest batting average.
I'm a big Richard E. Grant fan, so I'm definitely that's on my list. But yeah, it's weird that, I mean, who do you think isn't giving honest feedback on these films? Is it McCarthy or is it Falcone? Because one of them is sparing the other's feelings, and we're getting bad movies because of it.
They seem to be okay financially, right? You know, they're all making, they're all profiting. Some of them like big time, and they're okay with that. But yeah, you got to think about. I mean, yeah, this is your career and this is your filmography, and it's just got a lot of just kind of feels like fillers, you know?
Yeah, big time. And Thunder Force, while kind of funny, falls under that same umbrella. I mean, it's basically Tammy with superpowers.
Yeah, this movie was okay. I won't ever watch it again. It's already forgettable. Couple laugh out loud moments. The Jodie Foster reference was awesome. For Melissa Leo, that was really, really funny. But pretty much all of like the story, I was just like, I don't care. Like, what is this? This is so rushed and
so lazy,
so silly. Yeah. Silly, rushed, lazy, and just kind of I actually was into it at the beginning with like when they were the kid versions. I was like, all right, this is kind of
the kids
cute.
were so well cast. I was like, this is great.
And then it just got rushed, and before you knew it, they're like, there's 33 of these tests, and you're like, and it's like a montage of them training. Yeah, just too much.
One of those kids, I don't know if it was like the elementary school kid or the high school kid, but one of them is Melissa McCarthy's actual daughter. So that would explain why she was so well cast.
That's perfect.
Oscar winner Octavia Spencer plays Emily, the brilliant scientist who actually creates the superpower process. Spencer won her Oscar for her performance in The Help and has also been nominated for her roles in Hidden Figures and The Shape of Water. And I thought, like, while she did a decent job, I thought she was terribly miscast. Like, she is so boring compared to Melissa McCarthy. Like, their chemistry is so, like, despite them being friends for like 20 years, their chemistry is so off.
Yeah, I agree. It is one of the reasons the movie just doesn't work in general, right? Obviously, what's happening on screen, but yeah, it was more of the surprise that you're like, oh man, what the fuck is this? You know what? I thought there would be something here.
I mean, superhero. I admittedly, these days it is very difficult to be original in the superhero genre.
Yeah,
everything's been done to hell. But that doesn't mean that you should just load up on cliches and, say job well done. That's not gonna, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Bateman plays the Crab, a half man, half crab monstrosity who ends up hooking up with Lydia and switching sides. Bateman is known for his lead roles on TV shows Arrested Development and Ozark. And frankly, I thought he stole the show.
Yeah, he's easily the best part of this movie. The only like straight comedy for me the whole movie. Yeah, I thought Jason Bateman was great. And what an actor, a guy who, and not just an actor, director, producer. This guy just is crushing it at this point. And for him to be able to still do stuff like this,
Yeah,
as if he's in his mid-20s, I can't say enough great things about Bateman.
Jason Bateman's a dude who always delights me whenever he's on screen. Like whether he's playing a hero or a douchebag or a crab man, I'm always just like I like him. That show, The Outsider on HBO, the Stephen King, I thought Bateman might have been my favorite part, the bits with Bateman, because he was just, that character is written so goddamn tragic, and Bateman did such a great job. We did the Gift on the Filmgazm podcast a few months back. One of my favorite performances of his entire career. Just a cool dude, and he had me fucking rolling as the crab. Just the idea that just a guy with crab hands, and that's it. Like, that's the whole character, just guy with crab hands. Like there's a bit towards the end when they're all fighting the bad guy, and you see Bateman in the background shuffling away like a crab with his hands up in the air.
Dude, best part of the whole movie. Best part of the whole movie. I lost it when that happened. God, I love that guy so much. Oh. He's so good. You look through his IMDb and you're like, there's some misses, but mostly hits, or like what he's doing in Dodgeball. Like, man, the fuck, this guy's incredible. Just this heat check performance. Like, yeah, it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
F&A, Austin, F&A. Pepper's my favorite.
ESPN8, the Ocho. Yeah, so good. He's really good in Juno. Him and Elliot Page have like a couple moments where they're talking about Suspiria. Really cool stuff. Yeah, Bateman's the man. He's so cool.
One of my favorites of his is Horrible Bosses.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, that's a crazy cast, right? I would love to see them reshuffled in a different kind of movie. Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, Colin Farrell, all these just awesome people. Kevin Spacey, yikes.
God. Just the bits he had with Spacey where he's like, he pours him the scotch and he's like, oh, no, thank you. He's like, that's 20-year-old scotch. You don't expect me to just pour it back in the bottle, do you? And like forces him to drink it. And then he's just like, chalk this up to your drinking problem. Like, God damn. I thought,
piece of shit.
That was such a surprise to me. I went in thinking that was going to be terrible, and I was rolling.
Yeah, and Game Night's like one of the best comedies of the past like 4 or 5 years. It's awesome, one of the purebred comedies that I think will last. How creative it was, and how good, him and Rachel McAdams together are just spectacular. And really, Jesse Plemons, what he's doing in that movie is exactly what you remember in comedy movies. Is that kind of heat check role where he's just completely out of his mind, just playing this awesome, ridiculous character.
For me, the thing that had me rolling the most in Game Night was the Denzel Washington subplot. The wife thought she hooked up with Denzel, but it was just some creepy lookalike.
God, I can't wait till Giggle Guys do that movie. Holy shit. I love Game Night. Love it.
Oh, hell yeah. If you guys are taking requests, Game Night.
Yeah, there was, in fact, there was one time after, because you and I were working when this movie came out. This is around when you and I would have been both working at Draft House. I remember it then came out, to rent, and I was hanging out with Andrew, who's, host of Giggle Guys, and we were just like up super late, and we ordered Philly cheesesteaks from this random ass place on Uber Eats. And then we watched Game Night, and we were both dying laughing. This is a movie. It's very rare for a pretty much straight, through and through comedy from the 2010s to just kind of blow you away. And I think that's one of them.
For sure. Yeah. Game Night was such another surprise. You go in with no expectations and you just find yourself falling apart laughing. It's great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. A lot of love for Jason Bateman over here.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure.
Bobby Cannavale plays the King, a vaguely threatening Chicago businessman with super strength. Cannavale is a popular character actor who has appeared in such films as Ant-Man, Blue Jasmine, The Irishman, Motherless Brooklyn, and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, among others. I believe he had a significant role on Boardwalk Empire that won him a Golden Globe. Haven't gotten that far. I remember I quit after season 3 because there was like a 5-year time jump and it pissed me off.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, he won an Emmy for his role.
Right on.
His role in the Boardwalk Empire. Yeah, and he's pretty spectacular. Is one of those guys who's been in both worlds, TV and movies, like just all at all times. And I like when he pops up. I don't think he's great in this movie. It's kind of his character is, to me, just not very well written.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a lot to work with, right? And I think that's the main problem with the whole film. But Cannavale is a talented guy. I mean, we just mentioned Spy not that long ago. He's really good in Spy, right?
Yeah.
He's really good in anything he can kind of grapple with. I think he's awesome in Blue Jasmine, really good in Chef, movies that are just kind of homey, kind of, down to earth. And I think he can kind of do anything on the screen. He carried that show. What was it called on HBO? Vinyl. It was just one season.
Yeah.
Not a great show, but he's doing a lot of crazy shit in that and kind of carrying it. And I have respect for him for sure.
I was surprised at how much I liked him in Ant-Man. I mean, he's supposed to be, the stepdad, like the new husband who's a cop, but Cannavale is just so goddamn likable that you like the guy. And then I like in Ant-Man 2, they kind of, use that to their advantage with him, like being confused about Scott doing the sleight of hand magic and all that shit, like little bits like that. And yeah, I think, with a good script, he can really do wonders, but the biggest weakness of this film is how underdeveloped the characters are. And the whole thing with the king, he was such a, like I said, vaguely threatening businessman. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping there'd be some like secret behind the eyes that wasn't just super strength. Like was he, an alien or some shit? Like they could have done something with that, but they didn't.
Yeah. Nope. And just the king. Yep.
Yeah. I did like when he would get upset when people would just call him king and he's like, I'm not a dog. Like that made me laugh.
I'm not a dog. The Andrew part where he's like, that one, next time kill that one. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, when he's like, he calls him Andy Roo.
Yeah, Andy Roo.
Oh my god. The bit in the elevator when Andrew like can't figure out, like, put it on speakerphone. God damn it. Like that whole
Yeah.
That was funny. There's moments. Pom Klementieff plays the evil supervillain Laser. Klementieff is known for her role as Mantis in the MCU. She's set to appear in Mission Impossible 7 and 8, and she was also in the 2013 Old Boy remake. I almost called it Old Bay because of the fucking Crabman. She's not bad, but again, the character is just underdeveloped. Like we know nothing about her besides lasers. And
yeah,
after seeing what she did with Mantis, a character I really like, I know she can do it. So I think, it just goes back to the writing.
Yeah, back to Benny boy. What are you doing?
Yeah, the bit where he got tased though, I was dying. That was funny when she just moved on, and he's like, "Why are you still tasing me?" That was good. Taylor Mosby plays Tracy, Emily's brilliant daughter. Mosby has appeared in such series as Criminal Minds, A Girl Named Joe, and The Last OG. And I liked her. I wish there'd been a little bit of build up to her being a fucking speedster. That seemed like a horribly like shoved in final thing. But she did a good job.
Yeah, she's fine. I don't, with like someone like Octavia Spencer, Jason Bateman, or whatever, you have, a serious frame of reference where you're like, oh, the writing is bad. So
yeah,
it's not totally their fault. That's why Jason Bateman had to do that walk-off because the writing's bad. He's like, this is terrible. But this girl, she's working with something that's bad, and I don't really have a frame of reference, so I can't really get a judge of like what she's capable of, and that always sucks with young actors.
You got 2 Oscar winners. You got a host of Golden Globe and Emmy winners. You've got an Oscar nominee, so it's not the actors.
Yeah, no.
Finally, Oscar winner Melissa Leo plays Allie, the ex-CIA agent who works with Emily, whose betrayal we all called a mile away. And then just never shows up again. Leo won her Oscar for her performance in 2010's The Fighter, was also nominated for Frozen River. And I mean, I don't think anybody's more underutilized than she is.
Yeah. Holy shit. I hate when this happens. Melissa Leo is one of the people that if you use properly can change everything. You mentioned The Fighter already. What she's able to do inside of a film like Prisoners, and be this kind of centerpiece without being in the film the whole time is so special. And I think she possesses a talent that we saw in Frozen River. She possesses a talent where she can raise everything to the next level if you allow her to. That movie's not that good, but she's good, and she's kind of carrying it. And in this, I was like, give her more to say, or just give people saying stuff to her, because the way she reacts is incredible. And I was really frustrated when she was on the screen and there wasn't anything going towards her. There's no interaction, and that was probably my biggest frustration with the whole film.
Well, and also her betrayal makes no fucking sense at all.
No,
the whole reason she's here is because Octavia Spencer created superpowers. How does tipping off the king help her in any way? It was just to be like, oh, she was right there the whole time, just like that stupid. It was just a lame trope, predictable, dumb. Yeah, and also it never went anywhere either, because Tracy just immediately like beans her with a fire extinguisher, and that's it.
Yes, yeah, too bad.
God damn it. Thunder Force currently has an IMDb score of 4.4 and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 25%. It's a Netflix original, so that's where you can watch it if you would like. It's number 1 right now, but that's probably going to change pretty quick. So let's discuss some highlights, what we can find at least.
Yeah,
So first off, I love the concept of a world where only bad people have superpowers. Like, that is really creative. But they do nothing with it. I mean, in a world where only sociopaths and evil people are basically living gods, how is there any kind of structure? How is there any kind of law and order? How is anybody in control but them?
Yeah, no, this is really interesting, and it's kind of a whole can of worms. And I think it is really smart on paper, but I just don't think for a hour and 46-minute movie that's taking its sweet ass time in places and then rushing it in other places, it just has no business with an idea this big. And if you're gonna do this, and you're gonna kind of do like a parallel to what happens. Oh, the one percenters, like here in America, the one percenters that kind of control everything financially, they're looked at as evil. And if they could have superpowers, they probably would, right? If they could take a serum and be even more powerful than you and I, they would. And so if you fuck with that idea, that's really cool. It's also really dark and really, really complex when you try to wrap your mind around it. So a movie like this has no business fucking with a plot line like that. Whereas I would love to see it in the hands of something just totally different.
God, this movie needed an R rating.
It needed a lot. Yeah, it needed a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah.
Well, also they were kind of setting up that, Emily was doing this whole thing to, avenge her parents. I was expecting, though, somebody to be like the the evil, miscreant that killed her parents. Like, I was expecting that guy to pop up at some point, but that just kind of got tossed aside. It's just, I don't believe that Chicago would just be Chicago if assholes who love to rob banks could literally burn through walls like that. Like, why is the king running for mayor? He has super strength and an army of supervillains. He could just take the place over.
Okay. That's exactly kind of my point, is like politicians and, extremely wealthy people that work hand in hand, they would totally be the people that would have, superpowers. So yes, Bobby Cannavale, the king, running for mayor and doing all these other things. I just don't think he would be hiding it. He would just be like, I'm gonna fucking dominate you. You're gonna vote for me or I'll kill you. And that is presenting a really cool idea. And I think Bobby Cannavale was like ready to do that. He was like, can I go to that place where like I'm actually wanting to just control everything? And it never felt like it went there because it's trying to be a comedy, and it's not funny either.
Well, and also the character's a pretty blatant ripoff of Marvel's Kingpin. I mean, like, you're not even, it's completely unapologetic.
Frustrating.
Yes,
frustrating, man. Yeah. And also the kind of weird sensation I had when I first saw like sci-fi stuff happening in the movie, where I was like, oh shit. It just didn't look very good. Just didn't.
Oh God, the visual effects in this are terrible. They're so half-assed.
Yeah. Just, the first time you see, what's her name? Laser. The first time you see Laser kind of doing her thing, you're just like, what is this nonsense? I don't know what to feel right now. I'm not impressed.
Not impressed. That's great. I did think the opening with like them as kids was cute. I think, honestly, I would have just continued with them. Like, make her make Emily a child prodigy, have her develop the formula now, like do that as kids. That's what I would have done. I think it's more, clever that way.
I think, I think a hour and 46-minute movie about just 14-year-old Emily and Lydia, where we never see any of these plans come to fruition. We just see them with this idea as children. Like, what a focused, like narrowed down idea where you have these two kids who are just like bouncing ideas off each other. But no, we had to go 30 years in the future and, deal with it straight up. So,
well, and also, your idea is probably more suited for a drama.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This movie has some stuff for a great drama about, that could also involve superheroes, that is dealing with, like you said, evil people taking superpowers and kind of like choosing stuff, and that's super scary. That's super scary. And I think a more serious movie is what it's like. That idea is worth. Yeah,
I agree. The montage where Lydia takes the superpowers, and it's really rushed, first of all, and the montage where like she has to take a different injection every day, and like there's a different side effect. The bit where she woke up with like super long buck teeth, that made me laugh.
Just real quick, yeah, that was kind of funny.
That was but overall, it's just kind of the same. Melissa McCarthy falls over, and everyone's supposed to laugh. She's so much more talented than this.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here's one of the main things that's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Especially with her, is when she is first visiting Emily, and she's drinking that beer, and that guy Jesse goes to get the second beer for her, and now she's by herself, and Emily's like, "Don't touch this stuff." First off, these women are 50 years old. If you are told at 50 years old, you're told, "Don't touch something," you're like, I would expect them to listen, I would expect them to listen and maybe even if they're gonna like get up close and look, but not touch all this shit. But this character Lydia just goes ahead and like does all this stuff, and then like what? Where are you at? What time zone are you in where you think it's okay to sit in this giant chair? She's like, I'm just gonna put my feet up while I wait for my beer, and like that's how we're set off on this path of her having super strength. It's like such bullshit. Like what a terrible origin story, you know? And they clearly just didn't care about that part of like superhero storytelling. So if I was a diehard superhero fan, I'd be kind of upset with just like, what the fuck? Like most movies, most, they would take 3 movies to explain all this shit that you're doing. And you're not taking it seriously. And you did it in one.
Well, as a diehard superhero fan, I can tell you, yeah, it's annoying. This movie really kind of just
cheap.
treats it all like, cliches and schlock, and that's annoying. It's what, there are, successful superhero comedies. I mean, look at Deadpool. It plays with the tropes, but also is, super hilarious and well written.
Yeah. Well, one of our favorites that just really it sticks to its weirdness the whole time is Mystery Men. It it does not stray from how weird it is going to be the whole time. And that's what we're asking for. We're not asking for some wild, whoa, look at all these ideas. And then at the same time, I'm going to, like you said, Melissa McCarthy's going to trip and like kind of be a little bit drunk. No, like there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And I think movies like Mystery Men and of course Deadpool are more of the right way.
Well, Mystery Men handles this idea of, a world where superpowers are not common. Superheroes aren't common. I love the way it handles that, showing that, superpowers, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Captain Amazing's a dick. And the rest of his team has to kind of use their skills to save this city and the world from the evil genius Casanova Frankenstein. And it does it so well because it never forgets how crazy the concept is, while also, treating it with a certain amount of jest.
Yes.
And we need that balance, or else we end up with Thunder Force.
Exactly. There's a fine line. Mm-hmm.
You could take a lot of the jokes out of Mystery Men and make it a solid action thriller.
Exactly. But those jokes are worth it. Yes. Those funny moments with William H. Macy and Ben Stiller just screaming, like those are worth it.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
It's very good. It's probably at the top of that list for me with like superhero / comedies.
Yeah, for sure. So the big scene, I watched this with my family and we were all kind of on board until the weird, out of nowhere with no prompting, Glenn Frey music video moment with Lydia and the crab.
Yeah, what was going on there?
That was so out of place, made no sense. And yeah, at least it did set up the dinner scene with Lydia and the crab at the restaurant. That for me saved this movie. Like,
so good.
Just Jason Bateman talking to the waiter, like, are you really offering seafood to a crab man right now? Like, is that what's happening? So great. Talking about how he got bit on the ball bag by a radioactive crab, and that's what happened to him. Just yeah, it's Bateman's the only saving grace of this film. He really is.
Yeah, 100%. He's what's going on with this movie. If I were to give it any spotlight, it'd be the crab, it'd be the little dance he's doing, and it would be that dinner scene. Yeah.
So beyond that, like we've really, we touched on the little girl having like no build up to being a speedster, and that just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then like Melissa Leo's evil transformation, whatnot. So I don't really have much else to say, honestly. Like, are there any other?
No, I also didn't like how they just threw in the real common trope of like, here's this single mother who works really hard, and the dad ran away, and the kid doesn't get much time with with mom, so they're frustrated, and so that's how Melissa McCarthy and the girl have like a relationship. That just didn't feel authentic at all to me.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where just leave it. Just leave that whole plot line. Just leave it be.
Yeah.
How about the mother and daughter do have a fine relationship and things are okay? Why is that never the case?
Further along the dedication to the mission, say dad got killed by a miscreant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it's worth to us, is pushing through for this vision. Yeah, I don't know. This movie doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It's a mess. But
yep.
In Crabman, I'm gonna remember that. Like, I'm not forgetting Crabman.
Crabman gives it the only points I'm giving it are for Crabman. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm giving it a 7 for Crabman and a couple of scenes that made me laugh.
Yeah, I don't feel as positive. I gave it a 2.5 on Letterboxd, and I think that'd be a 5, over here. And just like so forgettable already. And aside from the crab, there's potential here too, and I think that makes me kind of frustrated.
I think I'll drop it to a 6. The more we're talking about it, the more I'm like, yeah, 7's too generous. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, I see a 7 as a passing grade. This movie does not pass for me at all.
Yeah.
I know what passing's like because I rarely did it in school. And it definitely doesn't pass.
Well, yeah, it could have been, should have been better. That's the risk we take with this show. They're not always going to be winners. Shit movies come out too. Not that often. Like, most of our episodes so far have been decent movies, which is nice.
No, it's very nice to have movies that are worthwhile. I think this is probably my least favorite that we've done so far. Let's see. Let's just for shits and giggles. These are the films that we've covered as kind of base movies for a sneak preview. That'd be Pieces of a Woman, One Night in Miami, The Little Things, Malcolm and Marie, Judas and the Black Messiah, Nomadland, United States vs. Billie Holiday, Moxie, Cherry, yikes, Justice League, Nobody, and of course fucking Kong Godzilla. So I think this is definitely my least favorite. This one and Cherry.
It's probably still Cherry for me. The Little Things is up there.
Yeah, I think I gave a 5 to Little Things as well. Yes, indeed I did. I didn't like that one very much at all.
We've yet to dip under a 6 for me on this show, but it will happen.
That's good. Yeah. We've also had some stuff I really, really, really like, I think Judas and the Black Messiah, I think gave that one a 9. And, you and I didn't get to talk about on this show Justice League, but I did enjoy that. That was a 4-hour just fucking feast,
Yes, it was. And there's a lot of films, that have been kind of the I like to call them the appetizers.
Yeah.
That have been really solid and deserve their own episode. And I've put those, if they're weird, they go over to Filmgazm. And, if they make a splash at the Oscars one day, go on Oscar Sunday.
Yeah, so, I know. I remember United States vs. Billie Holiday. We also talked about Minari for a while. And yeah, that's a wonderful movie that will one day pop up on Oscar Sunday because it got a handful of nominations.
On the Moxie episode, I dug into Boss Level and Raya and the Last Dragon, both which were awesome, and would love to talk about those further.
Hell yeah.
So thanks for listening. Sorry the movie sucked. But that's
right.
Really that's not up to us.
No, yeah, maybe someone enjoyed it out there and disagrees with us. That's all right.
Next week, we have a fairly empty week for new releases. So in honor of the 2021 Oscars, which are coming up soon, Austin and I will be showcasing some honorable mentions in the categories of Best Actor and Best Actress. Our decade of choice will be the 2000s. So that's every ceremony from 2000 to 2009, Gladiator to the Hurt Locker, if you will.
Yep.
So we'll each bring up one male and one female from each year that we think should have been up for Best Actor and Best Actress, and then discuss why we picked them. Should be a blast.
Yeah. Honorable mentions, not taking anything away from the already nominated. folks out there just trying to throw our 2 cents in. You know, if we were voters, we would have thrown these guys in there.
Absolutely. Don't miss The Raid on Wednesday's Filmgazm and The Incredibles on Oscar Sunday. Solid week.
Yeah, good stuff.
Be sure to tune in Friday for the Giggle Guys as well. Until then, have a great week and keep watching movies.